Story 1. Facebook allows it. I've reported tons of this stuff over the past 2 years with 90% Facebook saying nothing wrong and 10% they take it down just for another fake account to put the same up and Facebook advertises it back. Story 2. Noticed a lot of older relatives sharing engaging with AI generated over the past couple of months. They're just not in the habit of questioning whether an image is real or not, especially when it features realistic-looking people and places. I think a lot of people are going to be at risk of scams that use this kind of tech. Story 3. The responsibility falls on Meta. If they don't want to ban content, flag it as AI generated. Most people aren't technically literate and can't detect Gen AI signatures. Therefore, Meta has a responsibility to help educate people what AI looks like in context. Story 4. This is 100% happening on Reddit as well. It's not just old white conservatives that are being tricked. It's the people claiming that the old white conservatives are being tricked as well. It's everyone. Story 5. Facebook has always been filled with fake garbage. What difference does it make if it's made by an AI or a 16-year-old working at a content farm in the Philippines? Why do all these alarmist AI articles act like everything was golden and the world was just perfect until AI showed up? Story 6. Facebook is trash. Used it for advertising a bit, but now it's all just racist, bigoted comments. I help with travel and Disney too. 9-10 comments just calls people groomers and that I'm un-American. I'm from fucking Canada and our services are for Canadians. Total trash. Story 7. Facebook is wild. Boomer media rails endlessly against social media and young people, but I've never seen my parents' generation so addicted to anything like Facebook. And it's all bots, AI, and right-wing garbage. Story 8. A relatively small part of a single generation was raised to be skeptical of online content. The rest of our world is still naive. This crosses not only multiple generations but cultures around the world. There was another study showing Gen Z is the most likely group to get duped by online scams. It's not just old people, it's people with zero training on how to use the internet or social media who are too trusting and don't have a pessimistic view of online interactions. Story 9. May. I am older, 70-year-old, and I don't fall for that. I do sometimes fall for the clickbait, often have some interesting pic, that takes me to a page where I instantly get told my computer is infected by a virus, etc., which really pisses me off. I am trying to be careful to not click on any sponsored posts now. Story 10. Remember Cambridge Analytica. Scary to think with AI being where it is now and where it's going. It's going to make Cambridge Analytica look like pop quiz. Story 11. I've seen some of the posts and seen the comments. It's a mixture of people from different backgrounds who haven't learned to know what are the key clues for an AI-generated image. Story 12. Don't need fancy, realistic photos. We got people believing in just plain words. The Bible. You would think these nonsense texts would die by now in year 2024. Nope. Story 13. 70 years old. Got my first work computer in 1983 using floppy disks to run Lotus 123. A 5 MB disk drive was about the size of a washing machine. In 1990, got a transportable IBM that weighed 25 pounds and lugged it across the USA on airplanes. It used WordPerfect, Lotus 123, and the Precure to PowerPoint. My kids had overnight LAN parties with their friends in the 90s where they networked their desktops to play games. Today, I have so much computing power at my fingertips, I could be running a 1990 multinational company sitting by the pool. Some of us boomers helped get us to where we are today with the computing world. Story 14. It's honestly eerie to browse Facebook, and it pretty much proves the dead internet theory. You got posts where some Asian factory workers are making some basic product. The title of the post is Amazing New Innovation Technology to Make Life Easy, and every single one of the 450 comments just says, amazing. Story 15. Every product posted on Facebook has bots in the comments saying how great it is. I also see posts from people I don't know while scrolling my feed, and these posts are fake, clickbait BS. Like so-and-so celebrity is not doing well or said this about another celebrity and none of it is true. The worst part if Facebook's report feature is useless. Someone using a fake account, Keanu Reeves, was messaging my mom trying to scam her. I tried to report it, and like a week later I got a notification that said, "We've reviewed your report and decided no action is needed," or some BS like that, so They don't even look at the reports, they let other bots review it. Story 16. Facebook has a lot of bot users. I recently talked to a guy on a plane and he told me he builds bots that basically like and comment on posts on FB and Instagram. He said to me that many RPA frameworks allow you to connect to generative AI. The bot can literally create a new user with a profile pic and chat like a human. It can browse pages and target users and coerce people to accept friend requests, especially via community pages. Wonder how many of Facebook's monthly impressions are from bots. They claim billions and billions of monthly active users, yet no one I know uses FB anymore. Story 17. However, we're entering an AI era where younger folks are increasingly going to call fake on things that are real. It's a two-edged sword. Neither are good for public discourse or shared experience that helps weave a communal culture. We're back in the age of unless you saw it with your own eyes. Story 18. Oh, this. It used to be terrible Photoshop, literally stuff like a moon comped over the sun, with crappy volumetric rays, and boomers were like, wow, magnificent, beautiful, nature is amazing, etc. I saw one AI going around recently with an African kid next to a dog, seemingly crafted out of cans tins. I look at the comments and 10,000s of, how lovely, how talented. I called out the page that posted it, not flagging it as AI. They saw my message and ignored it. Basically, so many clicks and likes, boomers being totally naive. We worry about kids on social media, but they are far more savvy than older people. They literally lap up any they see and share it. Story 19. Facebook is filled with AI-generated garbage. The stuff on Facebook that isn't AI-generated garbage is human-generated garbage. Thus, Facebook is just filled with garbage. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Story 20. Emojis do not equal belief. This article is based off huge assumptions, and I see the youngsters are believing it all. When will the younger generations develop critical thinking skills? Story 21. As an older person, I was on Facebook long enough to help my local food bank win $1. Then I left. I have not been back for probably 15 years and will never go back. It was garbage then and sounds way worse now. Story 22. It's really bad and getting worse. One of them is a Monty Python fan group on FB that my dad keeps sending me memes from. It's a fun thing we share sometimes. But it also means I see all their posts from this Monty Python fan group on the main feed. They put up the same meme of the scene from The Life of Brian, the one where they're talking about men having babies. They post that every day, and it has the same couple of comments clearly written by a bot that just trigger the out of everyone, older people, and get them debating wokeness and gender politics. And it turns downright vicious. It's the same cement mixer of riled-up, dislocated arguments, every 18 hours or so. And this is just one example. I hate it. Story 23. Yup, Dad brought a cheap coffee machine off Facebook. PayPal family and friends' crazy thing is he listens to podcasts like Darknet Diaries, Click Here, etc., but thought it has to be real for Facebook to endorse it. Story 24. They deserve it for wasting their time on a like Facebook. It's not even news. It's like saying, old couple tricked by creepy guy in creepy alleyway in creepy side of town. Story 25. My PhD biochemist professor who introduced me to the internet when he was part of a committee that named organic chemicals was fooled by a Facebook Messenger spam. Story 26. I'm surprised I've not yet seen any photos of the Nigerian prince himself. Just wait for video and the deep fakes of people in your friends and contact lists. It's going to a lot more fucky. Story 27. I have been looking at the numbers on this, and as we know, older adults have long been the target. The younger generation seems to be getting caught up in this more, according to the data. Story 28. They seem to want to explain why older people have trouble telling that an AI imagine is an AI imagine. Isn't simple age-related visual decline enough of a reason? Also, I don't want to hear from the "I can't be fooled" comments, who themselves clearly never clicked the link and don't know what it's about. No one is easier to fool than headline skimmers. And that means you. Story 29. I had to create a new Facebook account a couple of weeks ago. That let me have a look at what Facebook looks like by default, with an algorithm that doesn't know your interests. Half of the posts are AI-generated pictures of Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez holding their baby, with tens of thousands of likes and thousands of comments saying they look like a happy family. Story 30. If old people weren't getting tricked, Whole entire companies wouldn't be raised in India to scam them that are bustling profit-wise with forgot your password links sent via SMS. Story 31. So are we pretending younger people aren't also being fooled by fake news on Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, Machin, etc.? Hell, the source of this article is notorious for spreading fake news. Story 32. Many are willfully ignorant. If the fake reinforces their worldview, they will actively avoid learning anything more or trying to do any research. They just like and forward it to whatever family and friends who haven't blocked and stopped talking to them. Story 33. If I had $10 for every new AI trading bot guaranteed income at I've seen, I wouldn't need an AI trading bot. Who falls for these things? If someone had an AI algorithm that could make money trading on the market with 100% certainty, why in the good jolly would they sell you it for $100? Story 34. Jesus Christ. They can't bring themselves to acknowledge millennials are adults. Or acknowledge they're elderly, can they? What a delusional generation boomers turned out to be. Story 35. It's not just Facebook. Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube are also getting pumped with nonsense slideshows or stolen videos with those god-awful AI voices. I swear they just overlay movie footage with an AI voice that's reading the movie's plot from the Wikipedia page. The content is 100% lazy and there's a lot of it. If AI's biggest use is spamming social media until it loses all value and dies, I'll still call it a win though. Story 36. Can we be a bit less ageist and just say that lots of people are getting tricked? I don't think it's just a certain age group that is getting tricked. Story 37. AI isn't the real issue, that's just a new, totally fake name for chatbots that have been all over the internet ever since the mid-90s. I have a pic somewhere of my brother's front page from about 2010-2012, and it was 50-60% bot content back then. Plus, that doesn't count ads or promoted algorithmic content that were all picked and posted by a bot as well. The real issue is that these are all media sites. Media, on advertising, brainwashing people to act against their own will and best interests, normally to the profit of one group's odd person. That's all there is to it. Brainwashing is pretty much totally illegal. A FIC, it's an actual prosecutable war crime, and IIRC equals straight-up treason in America, if indulged in by unsanctioned media sources. Story 38. My grandma and aunt keep commenting on and sharing a bunch of AI-generated bullshit. I don't have the heart to tell them it's fake, because it is clearly bringing them joy. But it's hard to go on Facebook now and see any real content. Story 39. The generation who told us not to believe everything we read on the internet can't tell if a photo or video is real anymore. This election year is going to be a trip. I'm already seeing a few unhinged posts, like the one with the underground city under the Capitol. Boomers believe it 100%. Story 40. I simply can't believe how many people still look at Facebook regularly. Yeah, I realize for some, it keeps some family and friends together to share moments and photos. But beyond that, what an awful use of one's time. Story 41. It's bots on top of bots. So many of the posts have botted comments and likes that when it does get to a legitimate and gullible user, it appears to have grabbed a lot of other people's attention, which legitimizes the posts in their minds. Most of the accounts I've seen posting stuff are people's, accounts that have been clearly password phished or have been targeted and overtaken in some other manner. I'm going to grab my tinfoil hat here, but as it is a fairly big election year not just in the US but around the globe, I'm afraid of some of these pages that are currently posting innocent and inconsequential AI images and collecting followers like crazy suddenly turning into politicized pages. They'll be able to fill all the followers' feeds with political misinformation in a very short amount of time, and they have so many accounts that banning them may be useless. Being already gullible, these followers will be likely to believe whatever they see. Story 42. They already got caught manipulating people, including children, emotionally. Of course, they'll put out AI propaganda and misinformation if they get money for it. Story 43. Facebook is such a shot show now. Just terrible boomer-level memes directed at aging Gen Xers and older millennials, shared by people I went to high school with, and fake news. Story 44. Shoot. Older? My 25 to 35-year-old demographic is struggling, much less 35-46-year-olds. I have one guy who shares video like Jesus himself told him to tell everyone it's real. It's real. I'm 38, and my precious wife refuses to believe there is such things as deepfakes. I'm looking at you or KateGate. She straight up thinks I'm a loony because there is a possibility that that video might be doctored. I'm a firm believer that it's completely AI. Story 45. It's absolutely agonizing scrolling through my feed now. Every fifth post is AI garbage. I'm betting all the pages getting all the new followers for AI lewds and political garbage will go full GOP troll farm in a few months. In before Dems too, which there will be some. But let's talk facts about who is the foreign entities flooding social media. Story 46. And Reddit is filled with the same endlessly reposted years-old screenshots of tweets that Zoomers and millennials interact with every single time they're posted. Our generations have their own brand of idiocy. Am millennial, BTW. Story 47. The article acts like it's some sort of mystery as to why they're fooled by AI imagery. Like, dude, some of these images are very convincing. The example in the article, the dude with the cake and the lady with the pizza, the only giveaway for me was the odd text on the guy's shirt and his cake looked kinda CG and too perfect. And something about the perspective of the pizza lady is something I've learned to associate with AI production. But for people who aren't used to even thinking about the existence of AI, there's no reason to suspect those pictures. It's not a mystery. Even a young person would be fooled if they somehow weren't aware of AI content, or at least haven't paid attention to that topic. Story 48. Friend's mom kept commenting and sending her posts about kids in Africa building things with water bottles. The last one was a giant life-sized replica of Titanic. Story 49. My great-aunt constantly posts these photos and thinks they're completely real, even if it's an obvious fake like a gnome made out of bananas or something. I have a feeling that most people outside of millennials and some of Gen Z will be tricked by AI in the coming elections super easily. There is going to be a torrent of coming, and Democrats have done nothing seemingly to stem that tide, and Republicans are using it. Or I suppose the people who own them are using it. Story 50. The sad part about this is your average Redditor will see this and laugh at boomers getting tricked. Then we'll switch tabs to r/all and upvote misleading headlines posted by bots. Story 51. Oh my, such a surprise. They left off a descriptor of those older adults. Stupid. Really, really stupid. I'm 76 and a huge chunk of my cohort is brainless. Story 52. Apparently, Mr. Beast released a casino that guarantees that you win. Oh, also try this. Casino. HTTP and Samni. Imgur. Com 6WE6DZF. PNG. Slightly NSFW. And holy. They are generating local, for me, news networks with real newscasters and their voices. To scam just about everything you can think of. This is going to get worse, you know? I give it another 4 or 5 years until we see an international crisis from fake AI news that people will believe. And I am not talking just boomers. And I have tried all the legit Facebook wait to not show me this, but apparently Facebook has lost all control. Story 53. Why don't we just start flooding them with AI Trump? Like flooding Facebook. Make them say stuff that'll really make them mad. Fight fire with fire. I'm tired of taking the high road. Story 54. And this is why so many people I know are no longer using social media in any form. No Twitter, no Instagram, no the Facebook. It's all noise. And you know what? I think those in power want it that way. They either milk us for adverts, marketing, for data collection, or they lose those users who deeply care. This fragments any class movements. Less ways to organize something like BLM, Occupy Wall Street, etc. Harder to get a cohesive message out for unionization, for worker protection laws, etc. I think they call that a win-win. Story 55. This is why people don't give two fucks about TikTok being Chinese. Facebook and its ilk can't even be bothered to stop misinformation. Why do we need to ban TikTok when you have Facebook doing the same, if not worse? You want to ban TikTok? Fine, but you better do the same with the Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. Bye-bye. Oh, might as well lump Truth Social in that too. Story 56. I find AI females on Instagram, and people think they are real, and try to make statements or ask them questions like they are real. It isn't just older adults being tricked either. Story 57. Boomers telling us millennials growing up. Don't believe everything you see. Boomers since 2016 on Facebook. Hey Johnny, did you see that Tom Cruise walked on water? It's on Facebook. Story 58 agreed parent was telling me about Kelly weight loss gummy, and it was from an AI scam. They have been hit hard by scammers. Even workers that work for companies scam. Now they hang up and call you on personal phone. Optimum Cable call center is rife with scammers. The owner of that company doesn't give two shits. If you report them, they will harass you even harder. Story 59. The technological illiteracy isn't the problem. The refusal to learn is. Far too many older people refuse to learn how to use technology safely or correctly and just fall back on the, "oh, I just don't understand it" excuse. For a generation that constantly accuses young people of having no resilience, they're incredibly quick to give up on learning. Story 60. They've always been tricked, and they want to be tricked. If you tell them that no, that is not, in fact, Keanu Reeves holding up a t-shirt supporting the Navajo Nation, they get mad at you. Story 61. Yep, my boss keeps coming to me and telling me about things he's read on Facebook, as if they're facts, and they're all just nonsense aimed at his generation. Yesterday it was something like, I read that if you eat a handful of peanuts every day, you'll lose 50 libs in a month. Is that true? And last week he was telling me all about how he had seen a celebrity on Facebook saying he made $500 an hour by buying this crypto, and all the evidence was with it. It was all deep-fried pictures in Photoshop. Story 62. People have been putting out barely literate, cheesy fake garbage on Facebook since its inception, so I'm not too worried. I bet the AI just makes things based off of data pulled from terrible Facebook memes and posts anyways. Story 63. This makes me chuckle. In my early career, I was a sales leader for a company that sold ads, and social media was a major revenue driver for us. Nothing you see on social media should be taken seriously. The whole thing is designed to keep you on the platforms for as long as possible. Let's look at YouTube. Have you noticed how their mobile platform is a completely miserable user experience, and that the ads served to you prior to viewing the video you want to see have almost nothing to do with anything you're interested in? They don't care about you. They just have to roll the ad to have a metric to pitch to potential clients. No one watches the ads, yet the companies still buy ad time. The whole thing is a rip-off to the ad buyer and a rug pull to the user. It's all designed to keep humans addicted so they don't leave the platform. Silly humans, I suppose. Story 64. The boomer generation stand no chance against the algorithm and AI combined. It's worrying that they make up a sizable portion of the electorate. Not all boomers are susceptible, but that generation as a whole seems particularly vulnerable to misinformation online. Story 65. I'm in my upper 30s and deleted the FB app about 4 years ago off my phone, but I still have the account so I can occasionally see what my friends' acquaintances are up to. I recently went on the mobile browser, and honestly, 70% of the feed is nothing but bullshit and rarely so posts by my actual friends. Oof. Story 66. I will forever be pissed off that the people who told me never to believe anything I saw on the internet ended up believing everything they saw on the internet. Story 67. I'd like to fast forward to 20 years from now when we've either A, gotten a better handle on media literacy, or B, let misinformation run rampant and accelerate the downfall of society so we can get this over with already. These interesting times are killing me. Story 68. Thinking about totally quitting. Was using it to still have contact with older friends, his family, etc. But now all I see is AI generated. Fake African kids building stuff out of plastic bottles, bless God. Fake cozy homes, who want to live here? Fake women with suggestive clothes, follow me for watch more. Story 69. I've started noticing this trend a lot. I'm not sure what triggered it, but for me, I am flooded with pictures of AI-generated cabins in the woods. And all of them are so clearly fake. Massive hot tubs right in the middle of the living room, abutting a leather couch with a fireplace on the other side, or one that was completely uncovered and have extremely expensive leather furniture just out on an open patio that was bigger than the entire house itself. None of these pictures make any sense. They clearly cannot be real places. But the pictures have thousands of likes and loves and hundreds of comments. It's clear many of the comments are from bots, but it doesn't look like all of them are. There's certainly real people falling for these, and if they are falling for obviously fake dream cabins, then it makes me wonder what else they are buying into. Story 70. There was a meme fad on Stable Diffusion recently of, "My son made this," of more and more ridiculous things was hilarious and inspired by these sort of Facebook posts. Story 71. As my mother gets closer to 80, I'm finding it's a constant struggle to keep her away from scams. This week, she got taken in by a pushy salesperson for clear airport screening. And last week, she got taken by a scam travel insurance company. $55 charge every 2 weeks. I wonder what it is about aging that makes people so much more susceptible, and I wonder when it's going to happen to me.